You need to love your home and not complain about the lighting throughout it.
Most homeowners waste thousands of dollars on lighting that looks great online but falls flat in real life.
It's understanding the light that it's putting out and understanding like what you need from that space.
In this episode, you'll learn how to avoid those costly mistakes and finally get lighting that actually works for your space, your style, and your budget.
That's the biggest thing. Like, take advantage of the assistance that is there instead of like spending hours trying to figure it all out and wonder if it's going to work for you.
Our guest today, she spent years designing lighting plans for homes and now leads the charge at a 100-plus-year-old showroom trusted by pros across the country. If you want to get lighting right the first time, keep listening. Welcome to today's episode of a Well-Designed Home podcast. I am Melissa, your podcast host from Timeless Designs by Melissa. I am the red shoe wearing interior designer because there's no place like your home. And today we have Jessica from Mahlanders. So we're so excited to chat with you about lighting. So tell us a little bit about who you are and a little bit about Mahlanders.
Yeah. Well, I started with Mahlander recently. I'm the new sales and marketing manager, and I have about 7 years in lighting specifically. I've been doing residential home, new build homes, maybe some major updates. So doing lighting design, people would bring in their house plans and all their samples, and then we would create a lighting plan on top of their house plan and then help with selection on it. Then this opportunity came up to come in and take over for Rosie, who has been there forever, like 32 years. And they were looking for somebody to kind of come in and take Mahlanders the next like 100 years. So so we're kind of paving a new way.
Nice. All right. Okay, so what lights you up about the lighting industry?
I love it. I'm a creative at heart, as I mean, any designer is, your graphic designers, interior designers, all creatives at heart. So you love seeing things that are unique and interesting, and you love seeing things that are tailored to your customer. You love to see it like come out beautifully. So that definitely just always keeps me going. One thing that we talked about too was just the light bulbs. I don't know. There's something crazy about light bulbs that I love, and it's the dumbest thing to know a lot about, but
It's really important.
it's really important. It is, yeah, it's absolutely. You take this beautiful fixture that you've picked because you love it, but it's there for a function to give you the light that you need. So on top of it being a decorative piece in your home, you need it to do what you want it to do. And my goal is just to not have anybody complain that light doesn't give them the light that they need. So I have always worked hard to make sure that the customer in the end is going to have that perfect fixture for them.
I love that because the fixtures say a lot about the home. They're sort of the jewelry.
I mean, it is. I almost feel like that's a cliche, but it is just really, truly the truth. Like, and you could say like what you pick for your jewelry is oftentimes like the feel in your home as well, because you want to feel comfortable in your home. So, when a customer comes in and you meet with them, you see kind of their style, and you can start getting like that vibe that you would pick for lights in their home too.
Yeah. Okay, so if we talk about the lighting industry as a whole, from your perspective, how is the lighting industry evolving in today's homes and commercial design world?
Well, the LED, they're light emitting diodes, and we just have had so much more versatility with it now. It's pretty amazing. So we can tailor your lighting needs, especially because they've become Wi-Fi enabled. So we can put apps on our phones and literally adjust the color temperatures, adjust the brightness of them. You can even change colors with them. So I think that in the last like 5 years, it's just leaps and bounds for what we've been able to do for improving the quality of the light in different spaces.
All right. What changes have you seen in client expectations, especially when it comes to lighting?
I think we're coming on the up until like the last 10, 15 years, you kind of used whatever bulbs were on the
Mm,
shelf.
very
And
true.
most of them were like 2700 Kelvin, which is now we think of that as being a pretty yellow light.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't like that in their homes anymore. Um, the options of light bulbs on the shelves have improved significantly in shape and
Right.
then also in those color temperatures. So I I think that people they want to pick a decorative fixture, but then they now know that oh that like thick heavy glass shade with the frosted bowl on it. It just didn't put out the light.
Hmm.
So they're getting smarter about it, which is probably a result of Google and TikTok and all that too.
Hmm.
So we're really like working more in terms of like specifically the types of light, the light that is emitted from the fixtures.
Hmm.
I think the customers are getting kind of smarter and savvier.
I love
So,
that.
and have more questions.
Which is good. It helps you direct them in the right
Yeah.
area of the showroom.
Absolutely. When they come in and just having a really good conversation, what do you need? They'll oftentimes, if you just sit and listen, they're gonna start telling you like this didn't work and this didn't work and I need this and this and this. And then you really, if you can show it to them and give them examples, then really can make that process quicker by
Hmm.
going through the showroom and seeing those versus looking at a light fixture online and trying to figure out if it's gonna be enough light for you.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talking about online versus showroom experience, um, homeowners and designers comparing online prices. How does that compare to Mallander's showroom experience as far as value?
That you just can't top going in and looking at fixtures. Like, it's really your starting place, and I think to do it well, it should be your ending place too. Um, in my experience, and I know that our design team at Mallanders, we hear it all the time. I've been online shopping and looking for hours and hours and hours, and my eyes are crossed, and I've seen 12,000 chandeliers, and I can't put it all together. So
Hmm.
I like this chandelier, and I found all these pendants, and then I have my bathroom lights. So the coordination of it, so by coming in and having that conversation with us, we can help you pick the finishes, pick the style, like, really, and especially, I think now with having 12,000 chandeliers available at our fingertips,
Hmm.
you now really truly get to pick your style. Just think in the early 2000s, if you built a house, your contractor gave you 5 packages, and you picked an entire collection of
Hmm.
one type of light for your house, and those packages went into your entire neighborhood. They went, like, literally
It's
towns apart, and
crazy.
you have the exact same fixtures in houses in
Yeah.
towns apart. And now we've gone à la carte, and, you
The
can go
sky's the
on.
limit.
The sky is literally the limit, and people are so overwhelmed. They wanna be really creative, and all I am all about that. I want you to have every space designed as you want it. But then also it's overwhelming when you have 500 different cute flush mounts for your laundry room. And we need that to somehow coordinate with the kitchen, with the foyer, with all the other rooms in your house.
Hmm.
So coming in, taking a look, getting that feel for it, and then having a conversation will make it actually a lot easier in the long run on you. And our brick and mortar showrooms are really working hard to compete with the online. You can for sure go online and look, absolutely. But the brick and mortars have the same prices or they're price matching. So they're not higher than your online. And we can't stress that enough that
You get the experience to go with
you
versus
do.
just perusing online.
And the kind of that, the general opinion is that the showrooms are gonna be so much more expensive, but at Mahlander, we are striving to provide a variety of price points,
Mhm.
and we are picking these lights that we think are beautiful. They are right on trend with these different styles out there. So you come in and you'll see beautiful things, and you will find things in your price point. So that's kind of the biggest thing. People got to thinking, oh, the showrooms are so much more expensive than they are online. But the showrooms are keeping up. And so
Mhm.
don't, like, if we can get rid of that and the value in saving the time, especially if you are building a house, like, take advantage of it, get the help that especially if you don't have an interior designer,
Sure.
um, if you don't have an interior designer, we can help you with just the lighting piece of it. And if you do have an interior designer, we have them in all the time and come in. We're here to help the designers put the whole picture together for them.
Mhm. That's awesome. All right. Service and support. Walk us through the kinds of support a client or designer receives while they're working with the Mahlander design team.
Yeah, if they come in and say they're you're building a new home, we start right at the beginning. If you
Mhm.
have your house plans, if you
Sure.
have finishes that you've already picked, say you have your paint colors, your trim, your cabinetry, all the things that you've picked, or maybe you have screenshots of things that you liked online,
Mhm.
you start showing us those pieces, then that will help us get to your style for you. You say, kind of what you're thinking for a budget,
Mhm.
because we want to honor the budgets as well. Then we can go to work and we'll walk you through. We'll show you some different options. Say you find a chandelier that you absolutely love, but maybe you're not quite seeing pendants. If you find that, we can take you through and show you other options to mix with those. And
Mhm.
then hopefully we can get it all done for you in one swoop. That is
So it's
the
not days and
ideal.
days and hours
It
of
does not
catalog
need to be.
searching
It does not need to
online.
be. It doesn't need to be. Nope, we absolutely, and the design team at Mahlander exceeds mine by a long shot. We've got people there who have been there 20, 30 years, and they're going to market twice a
Mhm.
year, going to market and seeing what's out there. It's
And
really
ALA,
fun.
right? American
Oh,
Lighting
yeah,
Association.
we are members of the American Lighting Association.
Mhm.
Yep, have been for a very long time.
Mhm. So success stories where your team's expertise helped a client avoid a costly mistake or an ineffective lighting mistake.
I think the biggest thing, and I would say in general, um, it's picking a light because you think it's super pretty and you just
Mhm.
fell in love with it, but then you put it up and it didn't serve the purpose. So I would
Mm.
say, like, a common one that we see quite often, not necessarily like one specific customer in general, but would be like your kitchen pendants,
Mm.
making sure that that island is lit all the way across because your island or peninsula is a workspace. You need that actually lit. So making sure that the light is coming down on it that you need. So it could be in
Right.
combination with can lights. And if you don't have can lights in your kitchen, making sure that those pendants are shining the light down across the island. We're seeing big is better, and we're
Mhm.
loving these gigantic pendants, and maybe you're doing two. But if you have a really long island and you do two really large pendants, it does not mean that you're going to evenly light that island.
Right.
So we work to make sure that we're going to evenly light that island, because in the end, we've given you, provided you this, like, beautiful selection of lights, but also making sure that like the island is evenly lit, that, maybe there's dark spaces that you want to highlight in your house. I think that we take that time to talk through your your home's different spaces and making sure that you have it. So I think it's just in general getting all of the spaces lit really well.
Yeah, that's super, super important, especially in a kitchen, because that's
Yeah.
where everybody hangs out.
And you're working, like
And-
you're actually
right.
working in there and you have to get the food made. You're cutting the food. And if you feel like it's dark or that light is yellow, and heaven forbid we have those old CFL tubes, and they're old, and it's just dark and it's flickering. And some people still are operating on those. And to know that how easy it is to take that fixture down and put up a new, maybe if you have an 8-foot ceiling, you put in an LED panel. So it's only 1 inch thick. So it's really flat up to the ceiling, but it looks functional and it's nice. And
Those
it
are amazing.
provides, they absolutely are. And having those light your space, you'll be like, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? I've hated this light forever. And it took you, maybe a trip to the store to pick it out and then having it installed and it's done. You've solved your problem.
It's so amazing, just that transition between like under cabinet lighting. I know it's not a fixture, but if you don't have it and you put it in, it's like a completely different galaxy in the universe because you can see.
And all of a sudden you love your kitchen at night.
Yeah.
Like you want to be in your kitchen at night because it just has this like nice warm glow around underneath your cabinets. Yeah. I remember doing it the first time in my first house that was like 100-year-old, 1.5 story. And I loved it. The character and the woodwork, everything was just beautiful in that house. And it was a galley kitchen. And so we took out all the old, like awful particle board from it being a rental unit. And we put in these like beautiful, very simple white cabinets all the way to the ceiling. And then we only had one fixture in this small galley fixture or kitchen in the center. And it was just kind of, it was awful at night. And then I had my dad, who is an electrician. That's kind of how I got my start in all this. My dad put in under cabinet just like a strip light kind of thing with a switch on it. So it was an easy, cheap fix. And ran it up through the back. He put an outlet in inside my cabinet to kind of hide it. You flipped them on.
A world of a difference.
And I loved it. I suddenly like loved my kitchen. And yeah, it did take some time and it was some labor in it, but I took this
The return on
home.
that
The
is
return was
way more,
amazing.
yeah.
Yeah, and we sold that house and we just did simple little things that made this wonderful little house feel a little more custom and inviting and something you love to be in because it worked for you and it sold really well, even though we didn't do anything like huge.
Yeah.
But we made these touches, and especially in the lighting will make a big difference.
So talking about lighting and it feeling comfortable and lovely, lighting is so, so important in any space. But talking about light bulbs, which often is an afterthought, which can definitely
100%.
make or break a space. And so I always say, are you in a tanning bed or are you in a cave? But you don't want to be in either. What are a few quick tips people need to know when they're selecting light bulbs?
I would say let's break it down and categorize it into 3 different parts.
Perfect.
We'll start with the LEDs.
Okay.
LEDs are the replacement for incandescents, which are what we grew up with. The LEDs started taking over after we got rid of the CFLs. So in the last like probably 10 years, there was this big push to LEDs. They're much more energy efficient. So the old incandescent would be, say, 60-watt light bulb. The new LED is going to be 6 watts. And especially if you have a chandelier with 12 bulbs, you
Okay.
take that 12 times 60, which of course I can't like totally do in my head quickly, but and I
Get your
should be able to.
calculator.
But by my multiples of 12 are always tough. But then you do 12 at 6 watts. Your house is saving an enormous amount of energy.
Just
Your
on
energy,
that one fixture.
literally just changing out a fixture, and then you do your entire house and you are saving money. So LEDs are basically just the amounts of energy that it is using. It's not the brightness, it's not the color. Then we go to the brightness of it. So that energy that it's using is going to put out so much brightness, which we call lumens. And we kind of got trained into thinking, for those of us who have been on the earth a little bit longer, you think of it as being like 60 watt, 75 watt, 100 watt, whatever. That's going to be telling your brightness, but that's not actually it. And especially in transitioning to LED, really what we want to look at is the number of lumens. So oftentimes on the box, there's like down in the like right hand corner or something, it will say how many lumens it's putting out. So kind of the basic for a house is going to be either like a 500 lumen or an 800 lumen. That's kind of what's generally on the shelves, which would be that like 60 watt equivalent. Candelabra bulbs, because they have the little tiny base on them versus our standard bulb. The high amount that's generally on the shelf in the stores is 500 lumens at the highest end. But your standard based bulb will be like, it can be 350, it would be like your 25 watt equivalent, 40 watt equivalent, up to now. What's amazing is that you can get them up to like 3,000 lumens in one light bulb. So say you love that dome pendant and it only has one bulb in it, but it's going to be huge and it needs to really light that space well. You could buy one light bulb that will be 1,000 lumens, 1,200 lumens. So
that
if it
will
really needed to, yes.
help light that entire huge island.
Yes, yes. So you have versatility in those light bulbs. So for the brightness, so you're really looking for the lumens that's on there. Our can lights throughout the house oftentimes are right at, an electrician who will pick it is going to pick can lights that are usually about 800 lumens, 900 lumens, up to like 1,100 lumens. Then our side table or our table lamps, I'll go a little bit lower and I'll do something that's maybe like 250 lumens or 300 lumens if it's just a little table lamp that is used for reading. We don't need a ton of light from it. It's an on-off switch. It's not a dimmer. Then go with a bulb that isn't as bright.
Because we want to layer the lighting. We want to create this ambiance.
Yes, absolutely. And it needs to function. It needs to serve the function that you have it for. At night, you're shutting off all of your ceiling lights, but you want to sit on the couch or in the chair and you want to read, then that table lamp is there to be that source of light. It is calm, it's dim,
Soothing.
it's so soothing. So you put a 2700 Kelvin light bulb in it, so it's yellower, it's warmer, it's quieter. So that segues right into the color of the bulbs. So we had
important.
LED is the amount of energy. Then we had the brightness of it in the lumens, and now we've got the color temperature. So the actual color of the bulb. That in there, it's measured in kelvins. So we often will say like 2,700 Kelvin, 3,000 Kelvin, 4,000, 5,000. in bulbs on the shelves. We'll see them in the old standard was 2700, which is fairly yellow. And we did our entire house in that. And so everything felt yellow. It felt dark oftentimes, just because it kind of had that feel. Well, in the last 10 years, as we've switched to kind of the whites and everything got crisp and clean and contrast with blacks, we didn't want yellow walls. So we kicked it up a little bit on the Kelvin scale to a 3000. So 3000 still has a tidge of warmth in it. So there's still some yellow in it, but it's whiter, it's crisper. So our walls don't look yellow. They have that white feel, but we still want a little bit of warmth in it. And that Kelvin scale, you can also say, or I really like to say, it's your energy that that fixture is giving off, and we feel that. We know this. Studies have been done. There is research saying that the yellower that bulb is, it just makes you feel tired. It makes you just
Circadian rhythm.
Yes, right into your circadian rhythm. And then we bring it all the way up to like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 in those daylight bulbs. And has anybody complained about it feeling too blue? It's because it's that daylight 5,000. We really, for the most part, don't want that in a house. You want it to feel brighter.
Right. But that changes throughout the day. And so you have the warmer in the morning and at night, and then it shifts all the way up and all the way down.
Yeah. I have in my own house, and I swear by it, and I always tell my customers to consider it if they're willing to do it, with that circadian rhythm and the color of the bulbs. Throughout the day, we start in that yellower, warmer, kind of quieter, and then the sun comes up and it becomes like in that 4,000 to 5,000. That's where we get our energy. Teachers are the best. Teachers will tell you, yes, I want my kids to have energy, but if I put in 5,000 Kelvin bulbs into my room, the kids are crazy. So oftentimes teachers will have in their rooms lamps, and those lamps are those like 2,700 Kelvin bulbs because it's quieter.
Or they turn off half of the lights.
Yes. And like quiet time, nap time, those overhead lights come off and they just have their lamps going. So I actually think teachers understand lighting quite well because I've been in a
the
number.
children.
Oh yeah, yeah. So in like my house, I have switched my light bulbs to Wi-Fi enabled bulbs. So several different companies are making them now. Fight, the FEIT brand, Philips does them, Satco has them. So all these kind of big lighting companies are doing these Wi-Fi enabled. So some of them I have switched to the circadian rhythm setting. So they start in that yellower, they become whiter throughout the day, and then in the evening they dim and go back to that yellow color temperature. I did just realized that in my kitchen, I did not like this. In my kitchen pendants, I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning. I actually need to be awake. So I shut off that circadian rhythm setting and I just set them at basically at about like somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 Kelvin. So it feels a little more energetic. I'm
So
waking
you're ready
up.
to get
I'm
up
getting,
and get going.
Yep, I'm getting going because I need to be moving earlier in the morning. And that has just it's worked great. I really didn't like that circadian rhythm, but I have them in my living room yet. My lamps or my pendants in my bedroom, they're set to automatically turn on at 7:30 at night, and they're set to a nightlight mode. So they're on, they're dim, they're yellow. So when I get up off the couch, I have peeled myself up off the couch at the end of the night and I'm going to bed. The lamps are on until
the mood is set.
it is.
For sleeping.
Yes, because I cannot take bright light. So if I walked into my bedroom and had to flip the switch,
Oh,
I
it's so
can be
jarring.
angry. I literally can feel angry because it's too bright and it hurts.
Mhm.
So by putting in these Wi-Fi enabled bulbs, like it's totally good. It's totally good.
Mhm.
Then they'll shut off. I have them, if I happen to be out for the evening or whatever, they're set to shut off at 11:30, or maybe we're just out in the living room or whatever. They're set to turn off at a certain time as well.
Mm.
So the versatility and that, and really like making your house, the lights throughout the house work for you, that these smart bulbs are just amazing. Yeah. And it takes a little bit of figuring it out. But I walk my customers through it if they do
Mhm.
want to have that.
It
I'll
makes
walk
a
them.
huge difference because if you really think first light and last light, it is very yellow. And if you had that in your home the entire time, the whole day, you just would feel
Yeah,
blah.
absolutely.
On the opposite side, if you have the 5,000 Kelvin in your home the entire day, it's just too jarring and too
Yeah,
much.
it's
But having that blend of both along with how natural light goes, having the blend
yeah.
just, I mean, everything is getting so much smarter and so much better.
It is amazing. I mean, and just in the last 10 years, the technology of all of it is incredible. And I think back to like my grandma's house back in the like late 70s and well into the 80s. Like she still had the greens and the oranges and the golds and the wood
Mhm.
paneling. And those CFL
Mm.
or the tube lighting that would flicker on you, and it was so awful. And now if I could, like, you think, "Oh my gosh, I could have improved," like, all of that, but that's what they had available,
Yeah.
and they didn't know.
You know what
And
you know.
yeah, now
Mhm.
I'm like, I feel like I'm on this, like, mission to, like, you need to love your home and not complain about the lighting throughout it. So, definitely, I mean, we're picking beautiful fixtures for you to love, but it's really more about the lighting that you get from it.
Right. There's so much to the light bulbs. Now, are all
Yes.
light bulbs created equal?
Oh, no, the
Mm.
brands, you can certainly go on, like, online stores like Amazon, and you can find cheap bulbs, and the quality of those bulbs is not there. You'll get more lemons, they won't offer you the light. I highly recommend it. Stick with your big brands. The quality of the bulb will be better,
Mhm.
and then pick whatever brand it is and stick with it so that, like, it makes
Consistency.
yeah, it makes
Mhm.
it easier, because I can tell you I have been in a hardware store picking out light bulbs, and almost every single time one person comes in, or maybe a couple comes in, and they're standing next to me, and I'll maybe be doing lights, like bulbs for a house or something, so I'm there for a little bit of time, and then you see them struggling with which types of light bulbs to pick, and it's like it's overwhelming, and they're light bulbs. I mean, they're just like they're light bulbs. I've got other things to think about during the day, but I'm spending a lot of time right here thinking about what type of light bulb.
Right.
Any of the big like brands, they're all going to be good. It's understanding the light that it's putting out, and understanding like what you need from that space, that is really
Mhm.
it will make it so much easier for you.
Mhm. Amazing. Um,
All about light bulbs.
do we need to add any more about light bulbs?
I
They
don't
are
think
so great.
so. Um, I don't think so. It's, in terms of like other varieties of it, you've got tape light that you can run. So you can pick up tape light pretty much anywhere
Mhm.
and run it. Say you wanted it like across the top of your cabinets or under your cabinets. You
Yeah, the
can
toe
do it.
kick is really a lot of clients use that
Yeah.
like as a nightlight in like the primary bathroom or bathrooms because it's
It's a,
just that soft. You can set it to a
yeah.
warm white. You can I mean, it's just
Yep, and
a
it will
great
light that
application.
floor so you can get across your bathroom and you don't have to turn on lights that are gonna hurt your eyes. Yeah, that's so the tape light has been a super easy, like, addition to our houses that I think are really, really useful. Underneath shelving, like
Oh, yeah.
bookshelves, lighting up what's down below it is beautiful. There are different ways to angle that tape light. So by buying channel and do not, please do not take tape light and just put it on there. You want a channel on it with a diffuser because that diffuser is what will soften that light. And if you could see the difference between the two of them, you want the channel. The channel is cheap. It's not a huge cost.
Yeah.
You do have to cut it to the lengths that work for you, but it is absolutely worth doing. Do not just put tape light up.
Yes.
I feel very
Agreed.
strongly about this.
Agreed. Changing homes one diffuser at a time.
Yes.
Are there any light bulb myths that you would like to clear up?
Really, and going back to the LED is not your brightness. It's not your color. It's just how the bulb is lighting up. Let's talk about color and talk about brightness, and those are the two things. So that's really, if there's anything you can glean from this without being completely overwhelmed, LEDs are just the energy source.
The vehicle of the light.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So exciting new directions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mahlander has been around since, what was it, 1906?
Yeah. 1906.
Yeah.
It is amazing. They started and it had been family run. I still feel like it is family run. We did have new owners 4 years ago, but both owners have been with the company for over 20 years. So
Couple of days.
yeah, it is amazing. It is amazing the people that have been there. One woman has been there for 57 years.
Wow.
And she's amazing. She's smart as a whip, and she is running those phones, and she is scheduling deliveries, and she is wonderful. But all these people started there, loved it, and have stayed.
Stuck around.
Yeah, yeah. And so we have new owners, and then the person that was she's the sales manager and ran all the marketing. She's been there 32 years or 33 years, and she is ready to step back. And I had run my own lighting business, and we were pretty small, and this opportunity opened up. And so now she feels that she can kind of pass that baton
Sure.
and keep it going. So there's just trying to, I think the new direction that we want is to have people value going into the store again. COVID was hard on everyone.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
It just across the board, it was really hard. And it increased online sales. And I can tell you from all the conversations, customers will go look at stores and they think they can just order it online. And
But
they
you
get
don't
into
necessarily
it.
know what you're going to get.
Don't. And it's frustrating. And for a good percent of people, some people might just go online and do it and get it done. A lot of people are struggling with it. But the coming into the store and looking, we can make it just as easy, and we can answer all the questions and get you what you want. And we want you to enjoy it and love it, feel inspired, feel creative, feel excited to do your home. Like,
It's a huge investment.
it's a
Time
huge
and funds. It
investment.
should be exciting and
Yeah.
enjoyable.
Yeah, it's not what it used to be. It's not, going in and just having this collection, and it should not be stressful. It really should be something you feel excited about. And I've had, and oftentimes it'll end up being kind of the empty nesters that are maybe downsizing, and they've never really picked lighting before. They just kind of either had what was maybe in the farmhouse or
It's
in
just
that
there.
house. It's just there.
Mhm.
And they maybe didn't care for it, but they just didn't do anything. Well, now they're downsizing, building that, that next home, and they want to have fun and they want it. So we want to join in that fun for you. We want you to have what you want and love it when it
Mhm.
gets done. So I think the new direction is just helping to get that message out there. Come in, like come into the store, shop again. That's really like you'll be glad that you did.
You've got a couple of fixtures to check out.
We have a couple. Yeah, we have a huge showroom like loaded with fixtures across the ceiling and for you to look at. We've got sconces on walls and all the options to really consider so
All
you can
different
kind of
styles
all
too.
different
Mhm.
styles, all different price points, and we want you to have we want you to have something that you will love in the end, and, it's really fun if you are building a home, like, to stop and consider, "Oh, maybe in this powder bathroom, I wanna do something different and fun," so being creative with it
Those are my favorite spaces to add a
is
little bit of extra edgy personality because it's a small space. It's it's confined. You can do something a little bit more wild and crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and, maybe you're doing wallpaper and you've gotta
Yes.
coordinate all of that, and having a light fixture that matches those other touches,
Mhm.
like, we'll match to that, so bring your ideas in and the things, and we'll be like, "Oh, I
This
know
would
a
be
fixture
great.
for you,"
Yeah.
and maybe we have it in the store, maybe it's another one, because there is honestly no way, any store can put up every option for
Right.
you, but we give you flavors in all of it, and you show us kind of your ideas, or maybe we help you with
Mhm.
that creative process, and then find those fixtures that match it. It was actually super fun last week. One of my aunts who is wildly creative. I mean, she's always got projects going, and it's really fun to talk to her. So she came in and she brought in her bag, and she had this wallpaper that was white with the old like green. It was a green bamboo lattice
Oh,
print,
yeah.
and she's doing it in her master bathroom, and
Mm.
she it I would say flamboyant would be a really good term for her. She just loves things that grab you,
Yeah.
which is like any designer's like dream, like, "Let's
Right.
do it." So she has like a little bit more room in her budget, and not that we wanna go like it has to be all big or anything by any means. You can
Mhm.
find, like, fantastic lights at different price points for sure.
Yes.
But um one of our lighting designers, like, had just seen this new piece that came out from one of the manufacturers, and it had this fantastic these green, like, they're almost like long drops, and
Uh-huh.
they had waffle print in this kind of lighter green,
Uh-huh.
and then it had um, this rich gold in it, so not 80s brass.
Yeah.
We're
It's
not
evolved.
doing 80s brass. We're not doing it. Not. So it had this, like, beautiful, fantastic, like, canopy and tier and the hooks in this brass, and then these long drops in this, like,
Hmm.
almost like minty green, not quite mint green, but complemented that wallpaper, and then she's gonna do this, like, chunky floral gold, antique gold kind of mirror. So you
Mm.
walk into the bathroom and you see
Definitely
this
makes a statement.
semi-flush. I mean, it is absolutely something that you would see in, like, architectural Digest
Yeah.
or Traditional Homes or one of those.
Can't
I mean,
wait to
this
see
is,
these
I
pictures.
know. I can't wait to see it get up. And so she'll have that wallpaper running around with that. You'll walk in, you'll see that fixture hanging from the ceiling with that wallpaper going across behind it, and then
Mhm.
that big chunky mirror, and then simple, little bit more traditional sconces that have like a gold leaf in it, very plain, but they'll have like a white shade on it. So
Mhm.
very simple, just beautiful light coming from through those white shades.
Mhm.
And then that beautiful chandelier on the ceiling. Yeah, so n really, like, come in and let us, like, help you match all that and take
Maybe help
your
push a little bit to the envelope.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're willing to, we will go there. Some people come in and they are absolutely like, I really do prefer simple and casual. So we keep it very simple and casual. Lots of
Mhm.
maybe like fabric shades throughout the home and just very minimal. Like a lot of times it'll end up being like oil rubbed bronze finishes
Mhm.
and some people like that is how they want. So we want it for every style, like whatever you're going to feel comfortable in. So your personality is what we just want to
Yeah.
have flow
Is
through your
driving the
home.
design. Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the more creative you're willing to be, we'll join you.
Love that. All right. So for homeowners or designers listening to this that may be overwhelmed by lighting choices, because there's a couple, what's one piece of advice that you would give to them?
Take advantage of assistance. We can really feel it when customers come in and they're like, no, 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 we just want to walk through. And that's absolutely fine. We at Mahlander want you to feel comfortable and we want you to want the help. So we're
Mhm.
not here to push anything on you. But if you have questions, so then oftentimes like customers might meander through and then they'll find something that they like, but they're thinking about it. Like I just had a customer last week and they were looking at this linear light and it was quite a large cage like lantern for a dining table, maybe a large island, and they were really looking at it, and I walked over and I asked him, "Seems like you're really thinking about this light, do you have questions on it?" And then it opened up this enormous conversation. So then we really, like, within, like, 5 to 10 minutes, we're like, "Okay, you need a smaller linear light. You just
Mm.
want 1 box on the ceiling. You don't want several boxes. So we want 1 light or 1 box, and the light will hang from it, and we want a linear one. Then you do not have can lights, so we need to light the kitchen, so we can't
Mhm.
do anything that is dome. So take advantage of the help that is there.
And expertise.
Yes, that expertise, like the years of like having gone through this with customers, like we do actually know things and the designers absolutely do too. A lot of times it's just the selection process for designers.
Mhm.
And maybe we're answering questions, on new things or whatever. But for designers, it's more like just having the depth of knowledge on different brands and different price points and being able to get you to where you want to go that fits in with the designer's overall style.
Mhm.
But absolutely take it like that's the biggest thing. Like take advantage of the assistance that is there instead of like spending hours trying to figure it all out and wonder if it's going to work for you and then maybe getting it and it's either too big or it's too small for the space. We,
Get it right the
saying that
first time.
size, yeah, like
Mhm.
we can look and we can know like based on dimensions of your space, the foyer, for instance, how big that light should be and maybe what shape or, how many lumens you need out of it and making sure that it is really right for that space.
Mhm. Perfect. Okay, where can our listeners connect with you guys
Oh,
and learn some more?
yeah,
Maybe come in and
absolutely.
chat with you.
Yes, for sure. We have a store in downtown Sioux Falls. We're on 8th and Minnesota, so super easy to get to. Just go on Minnesota and go head towards downtown. Um, we have the website available too, so you can reach out, contact us through the website, call us. You can email us if you've got questions, however you want to do it. We're also on Facebook. You can see, any sales deals, new things that we have in store. Follow Facebook. That's the easiest way for us to get out, like all of the deals that we have going on in the store. Um, yeah, but stopping in, absolutely stop in and see it and
See
talk
what
to
you have.
us. Mhm.
Perfect. All right. Anything else?
I don't think so. I feel like I've talked a whole lot.
It's all been great and useful.
Yeah, well, thank you
Yes,
for
thanks for
having
coming
us.
in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. So stop in, talk to any one of our lighting designers. We also do appliances. So if you're building a house, we can help you with the appliances. We can help you with your lights and really knock out a lot when you come in.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah. Thanks, Melissa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning into a Well-Designed Home podcast. We hope today's episode inspired you to take the next steps towards creating the home of your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes are uploaded every Friday afternoon for your listening delight. We'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review to help more listeners discover the show. And while you're at it, sign up for our newsletter at timelessdesignsbymelissa.com to have every episode and other design-related items delivered directly to your inbox. Looking for more resources? Download our complimentary guide, How to Hire the Right Interior Designer, on our website to ensure your next project is a success. Stay connected with us on social media. Follow Timeless Designs by Melissa on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube for behind-the-scenes content, design tips, and so much more. If you're ready to start your own design journey or have questions, reach out to us at concierge@timelessdesignsbymelissa.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining us on a Well-Designed Home podcast. Until next time, here's to making every space a timeless reflection of you.